Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're looking at the performance of one of EA's biggest fumble, Anthem. Now, when this game came out, it was about 2019 era. This is kind of pretty much the hardware you would have been using back then. I don't remember if the 12th gen Intel came out around the Anthem time frame. I think it was, everyone was still using like the 9900Ks and, you know, Ryzen X3Ds and whatnot. But I digress, because the hardware we're going to be testing out is the undervolt and the overclock of the 2080 Ti. Now, all my settings are exactly the same between both the videos. We're on Ultra, no VSync, no motion blur. The CPU is the same between each test. I have game mode on the Combo Strike MSI motherboard, which I believe just boosts the clock speed, but you know, the power consumption and I think the voltage is you know, a little bit higher than I'm comfortable with, but I mean, it keeps the clock speeds higher, so you know, it is what it is. And a 2080 Ti overclock, I have plus 115 on the core and plus 500 on the memory. I actually don't know if it can go higher than 500 on the memory. Not exactly too familiar with the 2080 Ti overclocking because I think I'm going a little bit easy on it because the card's kind of old, so I want to get, you know, some decent life out of it. So I'd rather just kind of you know, push it a little bit. You know, I don't need to push it too crazy now. I mostly run the card undervolted right now. No power limit. Well, the power limit, you know, at you know, stock values, what I mean, you know, very chill. Which you're gonna see in the video. Going full on overclock versus my undervolt, not really too much performance in this game. Now in other games you might see, you know, bigger values, but values aside, are you gonna notice, like, if the averages sort of stay around the same, unless it like heavily dips, are you really gonna notice like 15-20 FPS, especially if you're not playing like a competitive shooter? You know, probably not. Let's go over to the gameplay here. I'm going to show up the undervolted numbers first. You'll see in the left hand of the screen, you'll see the cap frame X rundown of everything. And one thing that is abundantly clear is the power consumption on the undervolt. We're like barely getting over 220 watt, and the temps are pretty good. We're at like under 60 C. You know, everything seems pretty good. Gameplay is smooth, which I can give EA some props for that, because I had like no loading issues, no stutter, just a smooth, buttery smooth experience while undervolted. Just playing the game, man. And I can say the graphics of this game hold up a decent bit. The game still looks really good. It's definitely dated, especially if you look out in the distance, you'll see it gets a little bit grainy. Could be maybe any of like a 4K monitor or something like that, but it does look a little bit dated. It's getting there for sure, which is pretty crazy how this game is this optimized all these years later, with the dev team like dropping support completely. You think it'd like crash a whole bunch and like not work, but it's pretty good. Okay, so we've seen the undervolted gameplay, pretty nice, right? You know, pretty reasonable. Now it's time to go to the overclock. And boy, oh boy, does the 2080 Ti love to eat. It's always hungry. That's the one thing I can say about this card. It's a great card. I love it. But man, it goes wild with the watts. And honestly, I feel like it probably will go even farther if I like really push it. It'll probably be sitting around like 310 watts, like peak power, which is insane. For the FPS that you get, it's not that much more, but it is a lot more power for sure. It's hungry. Now for this, like I stated, we're at 115 on the core, we're at 500 on the memory, and I have the power slider cranked all the way to the right, which maxes out at 115% power usage, which is you definitely get your value for the 2080 Ti. I can say that about Nvidia. They give you the full fat die, like the full bus on the 2080 Ti, and they let you use it. Just go wild with it. Now, I believe the 3090 is pretty much the same way, as like built kind of like this, where you can make it efficient, but it is hungry if you really want to like let it loose. And the 3090 is also the same way, or not 3090, 4090 the same way. So it's kind of like a trend almost, where it's just they give you the full fat die and it goes wild. Now, as you can see in I have the 1% lows and averages and whatnot on the overclock. The numbers are a bit more consistent. It could be the area that I'm in, because certain areas have higher FPS, certain areas have lower FPS, stuff like that. So it could be like that, but I mean, for the most part, you're noticing the 90, well, maybe not 90 watts, but it's more like 70 extra watts of power in like 10C for not that much of a difference in this game. I'll remind you. Now, if you have like unlimited power, you want to just run your room super hot all the time, go ahead, crank up the settings, man. Just let the 2080 Ti, let it loose, and don't worry about it. But I keep mine's undervolted, and I see pretty much the same performance, so I'll take it. So pretty short video. Just wanted an excuse to play Anthem, honestly. It's a great game. Wish they kind of made a new one or kept developing the first one. Is what it is. Wanted to have a quick comparison versus undervolted, overclocked on a game that is kind of around the same era of the 2080 Ti, you know, although I believe it came out in 2017. I could be wrong on that. Let me know down in the comments if you guys still have your 2080 Ti's. You guys just running yours like full bore, overclocked, you know, hitting good, you know, power draws and everything. I don't know. Or you're kind of like being a little bit easy on it, because it's getting kind of old, you know, it's getting a little bit older. So, you know, you want to kind of just let it just ride out its life peacefully, and you're gonna like upgrade in like 2 or 3 years to, I don't know, 4080 or 4090 or whatever. Let me know. Till next time, take it easy.